What's up, Kaiser fan? Welcome to the Kaiser Cast. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a deep talk, and I want to talk about depression. Depression has been a big part of my life, and I feel like it would be a good idea for me to explain a lot of stuff that happened to me um, that either caused my depression or triggered it in some way or helped it evolve or devolve. So we're going to get into depression today. Um, Real quick, before we do that, if you guys have any comments or anything about any of my other videos or this one, leave a comment below. I'm always there to write back to you guys. I want to start a conversation, and I'm really anxious to see what you guys have to say. I'm always here to open up to you guys. And if you know anything about me, which some of you do, I'm really easy to talk to, and I have my flaws as well. So there's no judgment here. I want to say thank you for watching the Kaiser Cast. I can't believe we're up to episode 7 already. That's kind of crazy. And I get so happy when I do this. Like it really does, it makes me happy, like legitimately. So there we go. That's my lights on now. Bugging. Okay. Anyways though, like I was saying, want to talk about depression so you guys get to know me a little bit better. So let's just dive right back into it, okay? When did I first realize I have chronic depression? For people that haven't really gotten diagnosed or anything like that, but you feel like you have depression, one of the things about depression is you can have depression, like you can be depressed, but you might not have depression. So the difference is you get depressed about something, it kind of goes away. Like having chronic depression is kind of like being in the coldest storm of your life, and the only thing you have to keep you warm is a quilt made up of all your worries and all your anxieties. So you got to put it on. That's the best analogy I could give to you guys, because at least for me, when I feel depression, I it's beyond an empty feeling. It's beyond a void. It's beyond any of that. It feels like I stop existing. Like I don't need to piss, I don't need to eat, I don't need to take a shower. It doesn't matter. I don't exist right now. I don't need to think. I don't need to have opinions. Nothing needs to happen with me right now because I never existed, never mattered. And that's how it felt for me. It was just this gigantic like wave of warmness. And that's what's so dangerous about depression, is that it could lull you into a false state of security. In being depressed, you feel safe. You can find comfort in it. I never have. I felt trapped in it. I couldn't get myself out of it. But it's very deceiving. It's one of those emotions that's toxic for a reason. It's it'll kill you. It'll make you feel like what you're feeling is what you need to be feeling right now. It's very hard to snap out of. Anyways, first time I realized that I had chronic depression was before Jasmine. I had to be like 7, oldest. We were riding in our Astro van. My dad was driving. Mom was in the passenger seat. My sister and me were in the middle. And Astro vans had like swiveling captain seats in the middle. I'm not sure if Astro van is the name of it. That's just what we used to call it. And my brother was in the back seat. And that was a bench seat. All I remember, I don't remember anything else from that day other than the incident. My dad, not to speak ill of him, may God rest his soul. My dad had anger issues. So do I. But back then, I didn't understand that. So long story short, don't remember what triggered him, don't remember anything. All I remember is he goes to the back seat and starts what sounded like to me was murdering my brother. Okay. Obviously, it wasn't stabbing him or anything like that, but you could hear like the punches. And now that wasn't the problem because we got whoopings all the time. We were bad kids. We got whoopings. I get it. I get it. We got whoopings. What got me was still to this day, I shake that image out of my head because I hate it. It's so disgusting. Next to the Astro van, the captain's chair, where the right arm is, there's like a gap between the chair and the door of the car. In between that gap, my brother's hand was just there, laying limp. That, just that image right there, messed me up for my entire life. And I understand my first gut instinct to say, like, it is what it is because it already happened and it's so long ago. And, you know, my father's passed away now. A lot of things have happened. It's a long time ago, but it's not okay for me to just say it is what it is. It's just not, because it messed me up for my entire life. And that was just the beginning of it. I was maybe 7 when that happened. 9 years later, my girlfriend passes away on me. And between the two events, can barely remember anything. It's just a void of memories. And I don't know if it's because my brain tried to defend me in some way, so it just erased all of that. But I just can't remember. All I know is between the 2 points, that memory happening with my dad losing control and my brother getting a whooping and my girlfriend passing away, it didn't even feel like I was living. So I think that's when my brain, to me at least, I think that's when my brain kind of just never remembered because it just didn't feel like living. But that's when I started feeling it chronically. Every little bit of criticism, every little bit of sadness was like a deep ocean for me. And I wasn't satisfied until I swam all the way to the bottom. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm a masochist. Maybe I felt depressed for so long. I wanted to go exploring. I wanted to see how much I could really hurt. I guess, right. Yeah. Because it's with any kind of pain with me. If I jam my finger in, the first thing that I'll do is I'll try to like not make it hurt more, but I'll try to fix it, which is you're obviously not supposed to do that. But that'll make it hurt more, which when it gets back down to the original pain that I was in, I'm kind of thankful for that pain, you know? It's what I do with everything. It's what I do with toothaches. It's what I do with everything. Why? Because I'm a psychopath. That's why. This is why I'm talking to a camera right now with lights in my face, because I am a crazy person. How has depression affected me over the years? And how has it affected my decision-making skills? It paralyzed me. It made me feel like I couldn't trust anything or trust anyone. It made me feel like nothing that anyone said was good enough to be safe. In reality, that's what it was. Just wanted to be safe. I just wanted to stop hurting. And it never stopped. So I changed my decision-making patterns. I started becoming hyper analytic. I started being super paranoid at everything and everyone for everything. And it worked. I felt pain still, yeah. And I felt loneliness a whole lot more. But it was my way of coping and it was my way of staying safe. Emotionally, at least. But I realize now it was extremely unhealthy. And it was just not the best way to cope with it. because you're not living. I love all these beautiful experiences, all these beautiful places. I love going to like scenic areas, and I just love living life, right? I love having bonfires. I love having movie nights. I love having family game nights, right? But what's the point if I'm just constantly pushing everyone away that I can share that with? You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I love all these things, but who am I going to share them with? Doesn't make any sense. So I knew I had to change, and I've been working on it. Me and Crystal have been working on it. I realized you can't just go through life with a gigantic shield up. You can't do that. It's no way to raise a son. It's no way to live life. You cause a lot more pain doing that than you do just living. You know, you're gonna hurt. People are gonna get through your guard somehow. People are cunning. People are smart. They're shifty. But you can never be mad at a snake for slithering. You just gotta live life. See signs for what they are. Move on. Don't lose sleep over it. Because I have. And it is terrible. Did I ever seek any serious help? No. I didn't. Closest I ever came was I was in the hospital. Sheesh, I'd say like 4 years ago now. Long story short, I was severely delirious and I had hyper anxiety. My resting heart rate was like 136 or 140 or something like that. And it was constantly going up. Like that heart rate machine was constantly going off. And I was constantly sweating, always nervous. Just so they had therapists come in, speak to me. They prescribed me sertraline, 50 milligrams. And I hated it because it's very deceiving. You get on it and you don't realize that your emotions are slowly fading away. What they make it sound like is that you are a gigantic soda bottle that's shaken and about to blow up. So the medication will take away the fizz. What the medication does is it opens the bottle, because when you first start, it makes it worse. So it opens the bottle, you explode, all the anxiety rushes out. And because all the anxiety rushes out, you're now halfway full. If that makes any sense, please leave it in the comments. But because you're halfway full, you don't feel as much. So you don't feel as much happy. You don't feel as much sad. You don't feel as much mad. But when you come off of it, the reason why they say it's so dangerous, and you're not supposed to go cold turkey, you're supposed to wean off of it. The reason why it's so dangerous is because you have to relearn how to use your emotions and register different emotions. You got to know when you're feeling them, when you feel them. So for me, I have anger issues. When I got off of sertraline, it was really bad. I was like screaming for anything, and I hadn't yelled in years. Like, it was that bad, to the point where I like sat down and I'm like, I'm bugging right now. What is wrong with me? I couldn't control how mad I was getting. Same thing for sadness. Any little thing make me cry. Like, it was crazy, dude. Any little thing would make me happy, like elated. You get what I'm saying? Which, that's not bad, but it could be annoying if you're hyperactive like me. Like, I get super like, oh, let's play, like a freaking puppy. That's why it's dangerous to like go off like cold turkey from sertraline. But that's the closest I've ever gotten to speaking to a therapist. Those two therapists that came in and helped prescribe me their drugs, basically. After that, I never went back to therapy, only but a handful of times. And it wasn't for me, it was with someone else. So I didn't experience it. It wasn't for me. So yeah, I never really got serious help. When was my hardest rock bottom? So I've had multiple rock bottoms in my life. And I think the worst one was when my ex-girlfriend, I found out she cheated on me for the first time. I was with her for 2.5 years, and she cheated on me within the first 2 months of us being together. And I still with her for 2.5 years after that. For reasons I'll explain. Um, when that happened, I remember so vividly changing the person that I was because I was tired of being the victim. So I became the victimizer. I started putting people in their places. I started arguing. I started being defensive. I started calling people out. Anytime somebody would say even the slightest thing slick, I will call them out. And I was used to behavior like this. I grew up in Edenwald Projects. I was used to behavior like this in a full Puerto Rican household. I never really told anyone what to do either because I don't like being told what to do. So why would I tell someone else, hey, stop saying that? Stop, don't, what do you mean by that? Stop saying that. What do you mean by that? Stop, acting like that. Don't act like that or whatever. Basically, I was a wild boy. And that was one of my worst rock bottoms because the person that I became, I grew up fearing. I had became him. I saw the value in being that person. You don't get hurt because you're doing all the hurting. The only time you hurt is when you realize you've hurt someone that didn't deserve it. When I realized that I was that person, it took so much work changing. And with a lot of work, me and Crystal both worked on it. I feel like I changed a lot. I'm at a good point right now where I've learned from my experiences and I know now that person doesn't work. That person may sound appealing because you're not getting hurt and everybody kind of listens to you and people kind of fall in line because you make order and stuff like that, which you definitely can still do. But respect for me comes before anything else now. If I can't respect you and if you can't respect me, why are we talking? What's going on here? What we doing over here? What helps me when I'm having a depressive episode? So for me, a depressive episode would be being depressed for like 5 days to like 10 days. And that's not wanting to talk, not eating. Because of that, I'm losing weight. I don't even brush my teeth. So screw hygiene. Feeling the worst, feeling like I'm not existing. So why should I take care of myself? Why should I eat? Why should I drink water? Why should I express any opinions that I have? Why should I even have opinions? Shouldn't. Don't exist. Doesn't matter. That was that bit of nihilist in me too. What do I do in these episodes? What I like to do is eat a lot if I can, which the only time I could eat is when I smoke. And that's the thing, right? Like for me, depression will make me not want to feel better. So I won't smoke because smoking always makes me feel better. And because I won't smoke, I won't get hungry, I won't eat, I won't sleep because smoking helps me. Also tames my anxiety. My anxiety makes my depression worse because I'm not smoking, because of my depression, because I don't want to feel better. So my anxiety makes that all worse. And it's a vicious cycle. So when that happens, food, if I can eat, my mom used to make this dish for me when I was younger. It was yellow rice mixed with corn with tuna salad and eggs, like the eggs sliced up in the tuna salad. Oh boy, it's still one of my favorite. It's such a simple thing, but still to this day, it's my comfort food. Like I still eat that thing till this day, and it's so simple. It's not fancy at all, but it tastes like home. So anyways, eating music helps a lot because it helps you to process your feelings. It also, for me, helps me feel like I'm not alone because you'll be listening to an album that you listen to 50 times, 100 times. And there'll be this one line in a song that you've always heard, you knew the lyrics to and all that, but it never hit you until you going through that situation and you listen to that song and that song is now your favorite song. That's happened to me so many times. It's like the universe talking to me through music, and it helps a lot. It helps. because it helps me feel like someone else felt exactly how I'm feeling, enough so to write a song about it and captivate exactly how I'm feeling. So I'm not alone. It's just right now I'm going through it, and that helps break me out of it. If that doesn't help, long hot shower. And if you can, combine the three. Long hot shower, music, and food. Something that won't dissolve in water, I guess. What would you eat in the shower? What would you eat in this? Mints? Gum? You're going to take gum in the shower? What would you eat in the shower? Can't take chips because you got to. I'm thinking too much about this. Anyways, you get my point though. Those are my three like top things to do when I'm depressed. And I know eating isn't really the healthiest one. None of those are healthy. They're just coping mechanisms. Well, I guess listening to music is healthy, but anyways, the point is this is what I do. Not giving anyone advice. This is just how I navigate my own depression. This is what makes me feel better. It used to be working out at one point, but then at one point I got so depressed that I'm like, how am I going to convince myself to work? Like, what's the point of working out? Like, why am I going to work on my physique when I don't exist? Yeah, just understand that. I'm not telling anybody to do any of this stuff. This is just my experience with it. This is how I cope with it. What helped me feel a little bit better, It's very easy to feel alone. And if you hear me saying something that you do or you could relate to or anything like that, I hope it helps. I really do. That's why I'm doing these things, so I can help you guys. So the last thing that I want to say on depression is I'm not a doctor, obviously. I am a 29-year-old making YouTube videos. I am a new parent, but I am someone that has experienced life not to its fullest, obviously. Still young, but with my experiences, I know comes knowledge, and I know comes something that will help someone. So with that being said, if you are depressed, if you feel like it's taking you down a path where you can no longer function and be yourself, you need to try to fix it. The reason why I say you need to try to fix it instead of just outright fixing it, because it takes so much work. Nobody's just going to outright fix their own depression. Nobody. If they did, please send me a link to their video, something. Let me know, because I want to know. The reason why I say you got to try, at least try, is because trying to make yourself feel better makes you feel better. What depression does is make us believe that we are unworthy of help, that we are unworthy of fixing ourselves because we don't deserve it. We don't exist because we don't deserve to exist. We don't deserve anything because we are garbage. It's harsh. But that's what I tell myself when I'm feeling like that. Because of that, you don't want to get help. Why would anyone want to help a piece of garbage? Why would anyone want to help someone that deserves to feel like this? If I deserve to feel like this, let me feel like this. That means I'm getting my karma. This is my punishment. But that's not it. That's what I used to tell myself when I didn't want to work on myself. That's not it. You can't think like that. You legit cannot think like that. When you start to try to work on yourself, your brain, it's like muscle memory. Your brain will begin to believe that you are worthy of this help, because you trying, even though you fail, it's not going to be an overnight change, but you just trying is enough to trick your brain into thinking that you're a person worthy of being good enough to get help. Now, all you got to do is start trying. How do you try? I can't tell you. The way I do it is I look outward and I look inward. I analyze my situation. I analyze the person that I am. When you feel like the person that you are during your depression is causing more damage than just stopping the damage, you know? Like they're causing more damage, but they're supposed to be helping. When you realize that, your brain is going to do a 180 because your brain's job is to keep yourself alive. Once you realize that you have power over this, your brain will do a 180 and it'll help to start a pattern. Once you start that pattern and you get into that pattern of feeling better, whatever it is you do, either you write, you go for a jog, you sing, you do whatever. Once you get into that pattern, it'll be so much easier to get out of it. And you might have relapses where you fall back down and they might feel harder than they ever felt before, but you cannot give up and you cannot get scared because that's just how it is. It's like a little monster inside of you. And every time you defeat it, it goes out and it trains and comes back. Because this time it's like, no, you're not leaving me this time. It's up to you to stay vigilant. Can't let that thing win. I understand firsthand, not through my own experiences, through friends' experiences, that there are people out there with chemical imbalances in their head and they need antidepressants. They were either born like that or something has happened in their life to traumatize them. Whatever the case may be, there is a chemical imbalance in their brain that they cannot get right without the use of medication. I understand that this is not for you because that is a whole different situation. It's a whole nother league. I would never try to compare my depression to someone that needs to go on medication for it. Just like I wouldn't like someone to compare their anxiety to my anxiety because I needed medication for it. There is a chemical imbalance in my head because I'm not on medication right now. I still suffer of anxiety. Every time my son wakes up in the middle of the night crying, I wake up in a cold sweat shaking. That is just what I deal with, and that's just what it is. But I'm a functioning person, and I can deal with that as long as I'm there and I'm present and I'm emotionally supportive and emotionally present for my son and my family. I'm okay with waking up with cold sweats. You understand me? I've had way worse anxiety. So for people that need medication for their depression, if this offends you in any way, shape, or form, please understand what I'm not trying to do here is romanticize depression. I'm not trying to make it seem lighter than what it is. None of that. What I'm trying to do is fill in the gray space because there is a bunch of people out there like me that they have suffered trauma in their life and they do need help, but they're afraid. They feel like they don't deserve it. Whatever the case may be, those people, you guys, are the ones I'm talking to. But please understand, I do not take this lightly at all. As with everything, do not take it lightly. If I'm talking to you guys about it on a deep talk, I'm not taking it lightly. I've analyzed the situation. I know that I don't know everything. And I understand that. And I respect that. Reason why I wanted to make this video is I know I've been doing a lot of gameplay videos recently. I just wanted to show you guys that I'm not here just for the gameplay. Like, I'm not here just for the views. I'm really here to help myself and to help people. I want to talk to you guys. I legit want to talk to you guys. I want to know how everything is going. Like, I want to get to know people. I want to help. I want to be helped. And I want to grow. Even if you don't want to grow with me or help me grow or anything like that, maybe you could just watch me grow. And that's totally fine. You know, I'm about to be 30 years old. It's never too late to grow. It's never too late to learn. Look at what I just started doing. I just started making videos. There's like these whole, like, I'm still having audio issues and video issues, but I'm learning. I'm still adapting. And I want to do that with my life. And sharing with you guys and talking with you guys, it's going to help me to accomplish that. If you want to share this video around with your friends, maybe they might take something from it. Who knows? But I want to reach as many people as possible. But that's where I'm going to leave it, this episode of the Kaiser Cast. Thank you for watching. This has been episode 7, and I'm your host, Bandit Kaiser. I hope you guys like my whole backyard open. I decided to do this video in the daytime because I really didn't want to make like this dark, heavy, depressing video. Just wanted to share with you guys, and I understood it might be heavy, so figured some extra light and greenery. It's my beautiful magnolia tree. So yeah, this has been episode 7. I will see you on the next one, guys. Be safe, be well, and please be kind to one another. Peace.